Before we begin, this isn't a science lesson, a dismissal of mythology, or a claim that everything in this text is factual. This is a slow, grounded review of a document that blends linguistics, mythology, genetics, and speculative cosmology. If you appreciate thoughtful breakdowns that separate symbolism from certainty, take a moment to like the video, subscribe, and share it with someone who values discernment. Nothing here asks you to replace science or spirituality. Let's slow this down and look at what this document is actually doing. This review is based on Dolphin Word, Womb, a speculative document combining etymology, mythology, genetics, and Kemetic cosmology into a unified origin narrative. This document opens with a striking claim, that the word womb is etymologically linked to dolphin, and that dolphins are not just intelligent animals, but central carriers of human genetic origins. From that starting point, the text expands rapidly into a sweeping cosmology involving artificial insemination, planetary seeding, cloning, ancient gods as geneticists, and humanity as the product of a vast laboratory project. The writing moves fast and confidently. Etymology, mythology, genetics, embryology, and ancient religion are woven together into a single narrative. The first thing to notice is how language is being used symbolically rather than academically. The document traces dolphin back through Greek Delphis and associates it with Delphus, interpreted here as womb. While dolphins have been symbolically associated with birth, protection, and liminality in many cultures, the text treats symbolic resemblance as literal origin. From there, a scientific claim is introduced, that dolphin genetics are closer to humans than other land animals. This is framed as proof of shared origin. What's missing is context. Genetic similarity does not imply direct ancestry or intentional transport of genes. Similarity explains evolutionary relationships, not mythic design. But the document doesn't pause there. It introduces the Dolphin Project, a narrative where dolphins act as vessels transporting human genes to Earth through artificial insemination and cloning. This is tied to the Kemetic Ogdoad, the gods Nun and Nunit, and later to a global network of genetic engineers identified across cultures as Namo, Alyakan, Dagon, Naga, and others. Here's the key pattern: every myth becomes literal. Every symbol becomes a mechanism. Every metaphor becomes evidence. Human embryology, gills, tails, webbing, dependence on water, is interpreted not as developmental biology, but as ancestral memory of aquatic origins tied to these beings. Ancient gods become scientists. Sacred waters become laboratories. The rainbow becomes a technological shield of atmospheric layers. This is imaginative, but it is not restrained. My honest opinion is this text is powerful as mythopoetic storytelling, but extremely weak as scientific or historical argument. It uses the language of science, chromosomes, genes, laboratories, insemination, without using scientific method. It uses mythology, Ogdoad, Namo, Ammonius, without respecting symbolic boundaries. And it blends the two in a way that feels convincing only if you stop asking where metaphor ends and evidence begins. That doesn't make it useless. What it does reveal is something important about how ancient people understood origins. Water as womb. Sea as source. Creation emerging from chaos. Birth as cosmic, not mechanical. Dolphins, as intelligent, social, liminal beings, naturally became symbols of that mystery. But symbolism is not instruction. So what do we take from this? The Dolphin Word should not be read as literal history or suppressed science. It should be read as modern myth-making, using ancient symbols and modern terminology to answer existential questions about origin, memory, and belonging. The solution is discernment. Ask, is this symbolic or biological? Is this myth explaining meaning, or claiming mechanism? What evidence supports this beyond narrative coherence? Ancient stories were never meant to compete with microscopes. They were meant to speak to identity, not DNA. When symbolism is treated as biology, myth collapses, and science gets distorted. But when symbolism is honored as symbolism, it can still teach us something true about how humans understand life, water, birth, and origin. And that's where this text is strongest, not as fact, but as reflection.
Garantangi, till the next video.